I'm Noah with King Explosion Resale. Today in this video I just want to show you what I've sold this week on eBay. First thing I sold was this Tower automatic film projector. I saw this in the Salvation Army and I really liked it. I really was interested in it myself, so I opened it up, I tested it out there. I tested it out more when I got home and I thought it was really cool. So I decided to look it up at the store and it was worth a little bit of money. I ended up selling this item for $38 and I only paid $10 for it. So before fees and all, it was $28 that I made off of this item. The next item is this realistic cassette deck. I didn't test this at the store. I just kind of forgot about it and left it in the basket until I got up to ring up my items, and sadly it does not work, but I was able to sell it anyway for $40. So I made $30 on it, even though it didn't work. I sold it just for parts. I let everybody know that it didn't work, but somebody was interested in it for parts. Like I said, I sold it for $40, paid $10, so still made $30 on the item. Next was this HP OfficeJet Pro. This is thankfully one of the last printers that I'm going to be selling. Printers are just too big and too bulky to package, and they're really in-depth to test. So I'm getting away from selling those. I'm staying with electronics, but getting away from printers. Just too many problems that they can have with them. I ended up paying $10 for this printer though, and I sold it for $50, so I made $40 off of that. Next was this Plum coffee mug. I have absolutely no idea why I bought it. It was only about $2. I sold it for $10 with free shipping, so I made probably absolutely no money on it. I don't ever buy coffee mugs unless it's like a really nice tumbler from Starbucks or something like that. But yeah, this was just a bad buy, but I didn't lose money on it. I just didn't make anything, so I will never buy it again. Next is the Nikon Coolpix camera. Found this in a Goodwill for $10, I believe it was, in the box, but it didn't have the charger. And it didn't have a battery with it. Still ended up selling it for $30, so I made about $20 on that. If it had the charger and a couple more items with it, I probably could have made a little bit extra money, but I made some profit. It sold within a day or two, so it's fine with me. Next was a Radio Shack intercom system. Again, I don't really know why I bought this. There wasn't a ton of value in it. I did look it up at the store and I saw some selling for about $25. I only paid $5 for the system. I sold it for $18 plus shipping, so I made a little bit of money on it, but that's probably another thing I'm gonna kind of steer clear of in the future because there just isn't really any money in it. Next is another camera. It's this Kodak EasyShare. I found this just by itself. It did have a small case with it, but I sold this for $22 and I paid $9 for it, so a little bit of profit. It was really cheap to ship. I sold it plus shipping, so this was a nice little buy. Again, it sold within I think 3 or 4 days of listing it, so these are the bread and butter items that I'm always looking for. It's nice to sell a whole lot of items for a little bit of profit that are really easy to just deal with and process and ship. So this is a win in my book.
I see this as an absolute win.
Next we have a Holmes HEPA air purifier, and I paid I think $10 for this at a Goodwill. I sold this air purifier for $25, so I made a little bit of profit on that. It had a brand new filter inside of it and it had a brand new sealed filter with it, so that was really nice. It was pretty clean. I just did some cleaning on the outside and sold it within a few days of listing. Next was this Brother LM100 typewriter. I paid $10 for this. I bought it while we were on a short day vacation. I paid $10 for it and I sold it for $65, and it was pretty big, but it was really light, so it wasn't too bad to ship, but a $55 profit before the fees and everything. Not too bad. Next was a Magic Chef bread maker. I only paid $6 for this. It wasn't a crazy brand or model. I only sold it for about $30, but it is profit and that will continue to add up. But making $24 before fees and everything on it, not too bad. I'll take that any day.
Nice.
Next was a Vera Bradley purse. I found this in a Goodwill for $1 and I sold it for $15. A lot of these Vera Bradleys, they're very mass produced and there's a lot made of them. There's not a whole lot of profit in it, but if you can find it for $1 or $2 and sell it for 15, it's not too bad. Next was a pair of Keen sandals. I paid $3 for these. I believe they were at a Goodwill bin store, so they were by the weight. I don't know exactly what I paid for them. I believe it was around $3. They're pretty small and pretty light, but I ended up selling these for $30, and I think this is the first thing I've ever actually sold from a bins location. I've only been 2 or 3 times for reselling purposes, but it was nice to get that first one out of the way, and hopefully there will be many more.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Next was a Sony CD player and CD changer. I paid only $5 for this and I sold it for $40. I really like these CD changers. They're pretty big, but they're not too bad to package and they sell really quickly. Next was a Lunix leg massager. It's like a muscle stimulator. You can kind of wrap it around your legs and it pulses into the muscle to help with the healing process. I paid $10 for this at a Goodwill and I sold it for $50. There were a lot of this kind of thing selling, but this brand isn't that popular. And the last thing that I sold this week was a PlayStation 4 Virtual Tennis 4. I've looked through so many games at Goodwills. I've never found any that were worth anything. I was glad to finally find one. I only paid $2 for it. Sold it for $12. Easy to package, easy to ship. I sold it plus shipping, so this was a really good sell. And finally, I found a video game worth selling at Goodwill. Anyway guys, that's all that I sold this week. Thank you so much for watching this. Please check out some of my other videos. I'll have linked at the end. Check out my first what sold video that I put out. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.